topics, make new best friends. So grab a seat, get ready to go on the Clips Podcast Show. Let's enjoy the flow. We'll discuss the latest trends and news, laugh and debate, leave your feels. Tim the man is your host. We'll keep the energy high. Putting tunes and stories that will touch the sky.
What's happening out there, YouTube land? Welcome back. We back, Clips Podcast Show. We took a break. JT took a break. Am I pointing the right way? He took a break. We want to start it off. Take a break. We've been going so strong for about what?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah,
It'll be 2 years.
Man, I ain't never took a break, man. I never took a break. I just went on here and just kept pushing. It just kept trying to push. So I said, I'll go ahead and take a break. And end of December, just rolling into January, and now we're in February. And then you know too, when we was having that super, super bad weather, I couldn't get on here. I don't know, something was going on wrong. The studio would not go in. It would not go in. I just couldn't. I couldn't get in. So I just said, well, that's a sign to make me go ahead and just take a break and come in another time. But yeah, y'all like, subscribe, share at Clips Podcast Show. We got a good show for y'all tonight. We got my man JTZBZ. He should be able to look at this situation here and break it down, analyze it, and we can get some good answers from this. In the meantime, you want to say anything to the people before we get started? You might have some fans out there that's been looking for you.
Well, ain't nobody looking for me.
You can't say that. There's a whole world out there.
You know, I appreciate the people looking in. You know, I've been down for a little minute, but back up, getting better, getting stronger, putting some weight on, feeling myself. About to get back to the bag, about to get back to the hustle, just getting everything together step by step. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to be back on. It was good seeing you today. Good to be back on the podcast. I was looking forward to arguing with somebody, but you know, I understand
want that work tonight, huh?
They don't want that work any other time. So I mean, you know, I'm here for it though. Like anybody,
critical JT.
Hey man, anybody out there that wants
for the dead body.
Man, please, like Tim, hit Tim up, ask him, come on, if you want to get some of this, you are more than welcome to. I'll give you what you came for.
Oh my God. But yeah, let's get into it. And we'll get into certain parts of it, and I might chop through it, and we'll break it down. Because I think, you know, it's crazy. When I first got this thing back up, like I said, it wouldn't let me on. And then I end up getting on. It wouldn't let me, for some reason, the software wouldn't let me download the files. It was just, it's too big. It wouldn't do this. It wouldn't do that. Then finally, like today, I said, they ain't going to let me do this. And boom, it started letting me do it. So I guess it has to be on and go into whatever it does, but we got it back up. So let's go. Let's see what we got. Y'all help us out with this particular one here.
Find me the society of women that are doing it by themselves.
I would love to see it.
Exactly, it doesn't exist.
Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it. We live in a safe, civil society because the men have made an agreement amongst themselves to not blow it all up.
Come on. Wait, hold on.
And the next prompt is, the sexual revolution has devalued women and made them infinitely less happy. Yes. No, maybe. Okay. Whoever feels strongly about it can speak.
Okay. I think that this term, calling it a sexual revolution, is quite strange, and it distorts history. If you look at the history of like the way that people engaged in sex, it really has not quite changed much. The only thing that we've seen change for the most part is the rise in social media and the rise of seeking out sexual relationships through that. Because you can go back through history and look at like the Greeks and the Romans that were very openly sexual. People were having sex in public. Like it was not a private thing. It never was. And it really only became like this private thing when you look at like the rise of like industrialism in the United States, and you see sex become like commodified, and it became like a dirty thing with also the rise of, you know, like religion and Protestantism in the US also kind of demonized it, and it became a weapon used against women. And I think that we've seen the pendulum go from like being hypersexual in the past where sex wasn't like a commodified thing or it wasn't a demonized thing to kind of going through this period of like demonizing people for exploring their sexuality or things like that. And now we've kind of come back out the other side where some people abuse it, some people don't. And I think that you have to have moderation. I've said this before, like as far as devaluing women, I think that the problem with devaluing women who are open about their sexuality or commodify their own sexuality and take control over it is a problem with patriarchy, and I think it's a problem with misogyny. I don't think it's a feminism problem.
Okay. Imagine trying to compare and contrast anything to a fallen society. To use the Greeks and the Romans as an example is absolutely insane. They didn't even understand what bacteria was back then. Like they didn't have microscopes, right? Like bump DNA test. You didn't know who the damn pappy was, all right? There was goddamn, you hit the wrong hole. And then all of a sudden your dick burning for the next 60 years of your life. Do you understand, right? Like people would die of STDs back in those days, all right? Think about Al Capone. He died of syphilis, and that was 3,000 years into the future. The point of history is to learn about past mistakes so you can avoid behavior patterns that will lead to future mishaps. But instead, they will revise the history and then translate it for whatever bias or whatever point that they're trying to make. This is like a Christian trying to use Sodom and Gomorrah as a way to conduct one's life into the future.
I would say that when you like put yourself out there to be overtly sexual and you don't give men anything to work for, so you lessen your value. So if you want women to be valuable, then having a lot of sex with men, being just out there, not caring about how you present yourself, that is not going to make you happy. You're actually
point.
Sadder now.
Beautiful
You're not
point.
happy. And I think that, you know, women tend, like all species, one thing we know is that we're here to be with each other. You can try to look at it like we're not equal. We provide equal value. And men can do things that women simply can't. You have like you
Can I ask what?
Oh my God.
What can men do that we can't?
Before they go into that, listen, feminists trying to normalize thought behavier and call it patriarchy or oppression when a man doesn't want to accept it is got to be one of the biggest like, how do y'all think we supposed to just tolerate and believe this shit? Hoes and whores have always been ostracized or like the bottom rung of society, all right? This is not new. But what y'all are trying to do is to rewrite what a hoe is or force men to accept hoe-like behavior and then dress it up as if that's marriageable material. There's been so much normalization. If you go out to your standard issue club, bar, or even on some of these first dates that y'all be having, you can't tell the difference in image or garb between a young lady that is actively trying to get in a relationship versus a lady of the night.
Or anti-feminists, anti-suffragettes, they're not saying that. It's always the feminists that are saying this. So I'm just like, why are y'all so obsessed with trying to be men? Like, why can't you just be good women and enjoy the roles that we're supposed to play, which is mother, a mother, because a man can't fill the mother role. That's why. So I just don't understand what the problem is and why you guys are trying to be men.
Wait, is that the only role?
I take my last statement back. That's the thing that women can definitely do better than men, which is being a mother. All right. Don't all police me. All right. Y'all know what I mean.
Not trying to be men. Wait, no, is that the only role we play though, as mom? That's it?
No, I just threw a role, like, you know what I mean? I just threw a role out there that man cannot fill.
I think I'm the most masculine one here. I'm not trying to be a man. I'm just more questioning like what is being a woman? Like what is that gonna look like for me? And it's not that I think that I'm better than men, it's just like.
You know the sad part about this is that she said what is it to be a woman? She's a young lady that's pretty much, I don't know, every bit of whatever age she is, and her mom has not taught her what a woman look like or the characteristics of it. This is just totally sad. Oh, let's continue.
Like even just saying like men are more logical. It's like I think men have been taught that their emotions are logic. Then it's not that they're more logical. They're not better decision makers. They're not the ones running our households. It's women that are running the households.
Masculine men have been taught to control their emotions. For a reactionary, irrational, super emotional man is some of the most dangerous amongst us because it's in combination with our size, our fitness, our cardio, and our strength. We must control the emotions.
I would.
Yeah, that's why households are you see households that are led by women and versus single households that are led by men. Men do a better job raising children by themselves.
You don't get to
single households led by women are creating YNs that are in the Black community. Women do that. Okay, men provide structure. They provide discipline, and that's what.
I'm not going to tell you what the abbreviation of that is, but y'all look it up.
And that's within the woman too.
So men sound like great mothers.
Is anyone on this side passionate about this particular prompt and would like to speak on it?
I did. I wanted to say something with respect to the lesbian
Maggie.
because I can't identify. But I think
I'm glad one of the elder sisters started talking. Take a listen to her. She gonna help you.
I think the flaw with feminism is the expectation that we are supposed to be the same at all. I think we understand and we appreciate we are not better or worse. We are not equal. We are equal valued, but we're very different. And I think there's a natural biology that often gets overlooked, especially if you've raised boys, you will see from the womb, they are just different. And I think when we try to put them together and say, anything you can do, I can do better, we're setting ourselves up for failure. And you made a comment earlier about women are better in every way than men. And the question that I would have is, I'm sorry, you said something about.
I didn't say anything close to that. I agree with you that I think the sexist, no, I honestly, the men versus women sex thing, I think it's silly. I think these traits, human traits are human traits. Some were nurtured more in this person, some were nurtured. Like my dad, being a stay-at-home dad, he was a much better mother than my mother was. I am so sorry, Mom, if you see this. But he just was. He was a better mom than she was. And sometimes that's the case. Forget the gender role stuff and these are all human traits. You either are a gentle, nurturing, organized person who wants to take care of a kid or you're not. And that doesn't go man, woman, that goes person.
And I will say, not every woman is a mother. Not every woman should be a mother.
And not everyone, right.
But I would just say this, find me the society of women that are doing it by themselves.
I would love to see it.
Exactly, it doesn't exist.
Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it.
Huh.
We live in a safe, civil society because the men have made an agreement amongst themselves to not blow it all up.
Come on. Wait, hold on. Shot away. Where my round of applause? Married. My assumption is that all of these women are married or are in a deep relationship with a dude where, like all modestly dressed. And you come over here and it's like the peanut gallery. I mean, this one over here.
Yeah. He pointed out a good point. If you look at the women on this side of the room, they're dressed modest and in their apparel and everything. And the ones on that side who's totally against men being the head and they are just as equal as men. Look how they dress. It pretty much gives you a character. Not every one young lady on the end there with the dress on, but her whole stance and sitting upright gives you a indication that she's combative anyway, even with a dress on. But we'll go ahead and let him finish out. And
on here, what is the meaning of this? Nevertheless, I do think that it's dope to see kind of the combination of different schools of thought so that we can, determine a winner that makes the most sense as an audience. So, guys, if you enjoyed the content,
well, that's how that go. What you think? You think they can run a society without us? You got that side of the room of women saying, hey man, we don't need these guys. We got men in the world. And the elder woman trying to explain, look here. Really, this is what she's saying in a nutshell. Y'all ladies out there, we've been really holding back she said we've been holding back and letting y'all be part of this. We could dominate, but you women do have a role. And we don't want to overstep our bounds, but y'all do have a role. And there's things that y'all can do we can't. But don't get it twisted. Go ahead.
Well, no, I just think that, when you see, especially look at the ages versus the left and the right side of the room, you have young white feminists on one side, and then you have older African American females on another who've experienced a different level of racism, sexism, and they know how to moderate their feminism in order to assimilate and then achieve what they want to get, whether it be in a work environment, whether it be in a relationship. Basically, what I'm saying is the right side of the room knows how to play the game. The left side of the room, they're learning how to play the game, but the game was not taught to them by their parents. It was taught to them by society. Society dictated the rules of what it means to be a woman, and that's why they're so confused, because they didn't get that truth. Yeah, I mean, society cannot teach your children how to be what they're supposed to be. That comes from the home.
Do you think that being the Caucasian women on one side and the black women on the other side are coming from a different view based on culture?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the black young ladies and the white young ladies, even if they, let's just say that they did say they didn't need us and they go off on their own and try to just do this thing on their, I think they'll fight amongst each other.
It's human nature to fight, and it's also human nature to not be able to exist without a boogeyman or that enemy. You can't have black without white. You can't have good without evil. You can't have feminism without dominant patriarchy, and that's what they're fighting against. They don't want to be ruled by this patriarchy that they envision is invisibly controlling them. It's not.
You said they don't want to be. They don't want to be submissive.
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is,
it's okay to be submissive. That's not a bad word.
I'm not even bringing submission into the conversation.
Okay,
what I'm saying,
y'all. I'm bringing submission.
They need something to rail against. They need something to fight against. It's like the angry black person that believes the cause of all of their problems is because of white society or whiteness in general. Now, I'm not going to say that it may not have a contributing factor that plays, but you cannot make that the end all to be all to why you're not being successful or achieving in life.
Now, see, I wish we did have a woman on here tonight, because my first question would be to her was, you heard these women talking about not needing men and blah blah blah. What really is your purpose as a woman? I mean, what was you created for?
I mean, we weren't created just to be with a woman.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying, what is a woman's creation for? If the man is the head and the woman is, I didn't say tail, I'm saying if she's under the man, what is your purpose then? You gotta have a purpose. What you created for. I mean, it's simple, but they bring around the rosies with that one. That's why I said, just to have, I wish they hey, if one of y'all want to pop in, you can pop in and try to answer that one. Nobody cares, but that is, that in a nutshell would answer a lot of the reason why we're where we at. Like you say, in the society. That's why TikTok and all these other talks is, they telling them, like you said, what they should be doing opposed to what they really should be doing.
I mean, it's society. I mean, but you're screaming all that feminism shit and the power of being a woman. You just had your right to abort a baby taken away from y'all in almost a half century. Right. Excuse me 1 second, Tim. I'm gonna let you go ahead. Excuse me.
Go ahead. Just mute. Yeah. So that's my whole. That would be my question. Somebody got something, hit me in the chat and explain the live chat. What's a woman's purpose? What's a man's purpose? I mean, we can play the game, but I'm just saying, if women are having full meetings on not needing men, just think if we had full meetings talking about not needing women, but we ain't gonna do that. Men, we know we need women. just like they know they need us. That's just a bad spirit on them right now, where they thinking that that's something they want to do. You don't want to not need us. You do need us. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. You do need us. Let me see something here. I did want to address something. And then I want to play a little bit of this clip here, just to compound on what we just watched. Just a quick little compound on this. We'll just take a snippet of this and take a listen to this based on even that.
I am starting to believe that the black church is keeping black women single. I want to believe in my heart of hearts that when churches have Women's Day, have women's conferences, when you go to these women empowerment, conferences, and they are allowing people to be vulnerable and transparent, and they are sharing how they healed from certain things. I'm trying to figure out why we are almost intentionally leaving out that God's word also says that a man is a woman's covering.
Now, that's my point I wanted to get to, as far as when women say they don't need men. The intentional need of a man is to cover you as a woman. When a woman is uncovered, whatever you believe in, most books come to the same conclusion, that if you're uncovered, meaning you're not under the protection, covering means protection of a man, you're fair game out here. So it's not a great thing to say I'm Mrs. Independent. But I'm gonna let her talk on a little bit so y'all can hear a little bit. Now, don't shoot the messenger. She coming from the Bible.
And a husband is part of, or should be part of, an honorable, godly life. None of that is ever mentioned in a lot of these spaces. There are more women in the church than men. I don't have a problem with women being in leadership because that's needed today. But when I'm watching women that are in positions of power and in positions of leadership in the church, but I'm not hearing you talk about how important the family structure is and how important a covering is and how a woman is created to be a helpmeet and a neck.
No, so there go the answer that I was just talking about. What would be the answer if I had a woman on here tonight and we asked her? She's giving the answers. That's why I waited. And I got your answers, which was great. And I let the women on there and the elder sister try to elaborate to them. Here she's giving what your purpose is, the reason why you're here. It's not because you got a master's, bachelor's, and all that. You got another calling. Let's let her talk, and then me and you will talk.
And the man is supposed. When I don't hear those things talked about almost intentionally, is that because I want these women single?
It is. And as somebody who was raised so heavily in the church, when I became red pill aware, I started questioning, why on earth didn't my church prepare me to be a wife? Why didn't they stress the importance of getting under a man's covering? When I tell you, I was in the church Sunday, Wednesday for prayer meeting, Saturday for youth service. Like we never leave the church. It was school, church, and home. But then it was never emphasized. Like we never.
And didn't learn a thing. Notice the days she put up. She was in it 24/7, and she saying I still ain't learned nothing. Ain't teaching them nothing there.
Like we never had marriage and relationship talk. We never had the importance of having a man's leadership, what qualities to look for. We never had that conversation, but we were always in the church. The only conversation that I remember having is, oh, sex is better in marriage. Okay, teach me how to get married. Like, I mean, is it just me? Shout out to her for saying it, because they push singles ministry. So much. Like, oh my gosh, all the budget that goes in towards the single ministry, but where is the budget that goes into preparing women to be wives? Can we talk about it without getting triggered? I stand 10 toes down. The church intentionally keeps women single. And this is something that I realized way before I discovered Kevin Samuels. It was me getting to a certain age, realizing that I'm nowhere even close to being qualified to be a wife, much less to being a wife, and being curious. It's like, okay, I spent all these years in the church. Where was my training? Where was it? What happened? And then also to observing women in my church, older women, 40 plus, single, still waiting for God to send them their man. And I said, no, hell no, that's not going to be me. That is not going to be me. I swear to you, I left that church so fast.
Oh my God. All right, there you go. I just wanted to hit you with that snippet of compounding on exactly what we just watched, why we where we at. They gave the answer. Hey, you know how hey JT, you know how you can get the answer to the test. Somebody give the answer to the test. That's what I did. I wanted to start the first video, let you be like, oh yeah, I'm with them. I'm with them. Oh, I'm with that group. I'm with that side of the room. And then boom, I wanted to bring it home and give you the answer. And then you got two young black ladies, they telling you, man, we ain't learned nothing up in there. We don't even know how to be a wife. Nobody trained us, but we was in there. We Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they wonder why they don't have not even
But
trained.
it, here you go. Here we go again, though, looking for somebody to teach us something that's encoded biologically and should be in our nature, and the rest of that is taught. It's learned behavior. You get what I'm saying? So again, if you have negative images of what relationships and marriages looks like, then that's probably what you're going to adopt. But here you have a woman saying, instead of like the white woman was saying, well, society is basically dictating that, I should be a feminist and I should do this and I should do that. Now you have the sister saying, well, I believe in God and this is my faith, this is my backbone, but I was never trained to do how to be a wife. I was never trained how to be in a positive relationship. Obviously, she didn't see it at home, or else she would have said it, right? And then now you have someone else to blame, another boogeyman. Now it's the church's fault for not preparing you. And now you're looking at what's painfully obvious, that there's more black women in the church because the pastor knows that women are going to be more likely to tithe, be more likely to financially support that church than men would. Men are more focused on their cars, their clothes, their jewelry, having that available excess money to spend on women and trick and hanging out and doing all that. And he's not necessarily going to tie that money and be as faithful to the church as, say, a woman is. Married couples, that's a different story. But yeah, if you go, you see typically a black man as leader of the church, of the black church, and you see 80% women, 20% men in the church. And the reason for that is he's their husband, he's their God, and he's taking their money, and he needs them to be single because once she has a man, that money's like, oh no, that money's coming into our home. We'll give some to the church, but the money is coming home and no longer going to him and his Cadillacs and his funds and all that. Then it's a problem.
Yeah. Look at the Drewski video. You'll see where the money going. You will see.
Is a new way.
But we got to understand too that moral structure has to come from somewhere. And I agree with you on the fact that it's not the church's job to teach it. That should come from the home. That should come from the man in the home. It's the man's job to continue to teach the moral to his family, to his children. But if we got all this independence and I don't need a man, so where you gonna get it from, lady? When it's time for you to become a wife, like she said, she actually admitted on her freaking podcast that she wasn't never developed into being a wife based on how much time she was spending in church. She still ain't developed. So that tell you it's all it's a game, man. It's all a game. It's like you said, who getting paid, who shot John and who on first base. It's not about building you up so that you'll become a stronger community.
And when you can't figure it out, you need somebody to rail against. you have a self-made boogeyman.
Yeah.
Here, be mad at this person, be mad at people, be mad at this system, be mad at society, be mad at everybody else except for you and the decision that you made that keep good men away from you.
Yeah. So you spend your whole life, you know how you see a dog chasing his tail, and he ain't figured out it's his tail. He's chasing his tail, and it's his tail.
Yeah.
But he blaming all the other dogs around him because he think it's actually that's what it is. JT, he think it's one he think it's one of the other dogs' tails. That's why he going after it so hard because he like there's got to be another dog's tail that's messing with me.
Yeah.
But like I say, we not sitting here blaming women for nothing, but we just pointing out. We just pointing out the turmoil and how we get into this. But like I say, that's why I let the women come on here and I showed the video to let the women speak to women as far as what they think the reason why a lot of and we can just deal with the black women right now because she want to deal with the black women. Why most black women are single and not with her. She was giving it. She was giving it biblically and just her personal. So she gave it from both sides. And like we say, JT, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Look at our society, look at our communities. Ain't these folks ain't married, man. They ain't thinking of JT. Is your son thinking about marriage?
No.
See, these kids ain't thinking about
one day. I mean, not anytime soon.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And, you know, I was way younger than them when I was married and had them.
See, you came from a different dispensation. Yeah, you came from a different.
Yeah, but I've also told them.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was young and you know, I jumped right into the fire pan.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I created a situation I wasn't ready for, I had to step up, be a man, and learn.
Because that's what
was taught. You know, grow up with them.
Yeah, that's what was taught in our society. Yeah,
you take care of your responsibilities, and they were my ultimate responsibility. And that's why, you know, they always thank me for being a dad, and it makes me uncomfortable. Like, you don't have to thank me for doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that's a given. That's why, you know what, it's funny. You know, that's what just really pissed me off when you hear people say, look, I'm a grown ass such and such, and I pay my bills. You got to do that anyway. You not doing nobody no favor, or you not making nobody go, oh, no, you got to do that anyway. You grown. That's why you got to do it. What you telling us? I'm a grown for what? You got to do it. Ain't no way around it. So, but yeah,
there's no gold medals for doing what you're supposed to do. No gold medals.
And then, you know what's great? While we on the subject, because I just asked you, is any of your kids getting married? My son just called me the other day because he's getting married. Say he's getting, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
My son is 37, 38 years old. You know, he said it's time. Right. And he told me, you know, it was crazy. He said he'd been with a lot of, you know, whatever you call a lot of women to him. He'd been with a lot of women to the point where he said, man, I done seen enough games. I done got played enough. He said, I finally got me one that I ain't got to play no games with. And we on the same page. I said, well, one thing about a man, we know when we're ready to offer this hand in marriage to a particular woman. It ain't just any woman.
No.
You know, when you see a woman that, because every woman, I agree with the lady that on here, the elder black lady that was saying every woman ain't meant to be married. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think all women think they're supposed to be married.
No, there's toxic people that need to be the fuck by themselves because they ruin everything that they touch. Everything that comes in contact with them dies. You get what I'm saying? So if that's the type of person you are, you don't need to bring anybody into that. You have nothing. Huh?
Children especially.
Oh my God. You show me you show me a fucked up kid, I'll show you a fucked up parent. Yeah, I mean, again, we're talking about learned behaviors.
Yeah.
Talking about learned behaviors. And children learn how to be toxic. Children learn how to scapegoat at a very early age.
Right.
They learn how to be selfish at a very early age, and whether they let that go or grow out of that phase depends on the parenting, depends on that child's personality. But everybody isn't meant for something like that. That's that famous lie, the greeting cards try to sell your ass. There's somebody for everybody. There's someone meant for you. Your special person is out there. Maybe not necessarily. Maybe you just a fucked up person needs to sit in your own shit and figure it out.
By yourself, huh? Yeah, by yourself. Sometimes, yeah, like he said. Oh, yeah, he froze a little bit. But yeah, he's right.
There's nothing saying that something is guaranteed for you. Nothing.
Yeah. But you like you were saying morally, and you were talking about basically uh I'm trying for the word here, where you're an example. Like you're a married man and you've been married. Your kids are more likely to get married because they seen you as an example. You know, just like my kids. It took my son a long time, one of them anyway. You know, like I said, he 37, 38 before he decided to get married. But I'm just saying, the reason why he's even going to attempt to do it because he see me. He said, well, shoot, he doing it. So your kids most likely to follow in your pattern. So he's like, shoot, my dad. And then he see that you can hold something and, together and, you can make it through. So you give your kids inspiration and things when you do things. Not saying if your marriage don't work out, because I had a marriage before that didn't work, but I'm saying they still get an example. They get something to draw from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but ultimately they got to walk in their own decisions. And the saddest thing about what you just said is they've seen more unsuccessful relationships and that toxicity we just talked about in my life, and they don't necessarily want to repeat that.
Yeah, but
so
go ahead.
I mean, so the smart thing is to wait until you find somebody that you can love unconditionally, and the things are there, and your relationship is not built on tit for tat or well, I did this or you do that, and everything that's done is done with a loving heart and a giving heart and a spiritual heart, and to provide that covering as a man, like you talked about earlier. And you'll see if you have the right woman, how she responds to that nurturing and that love and that cover. Should be likely to play her part in the relationship, whatever that looks like to y'all.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about what you just said. Is there such thing as a right man or a right woman?
If there's such thing, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they could be Mr. Right Now, Ms. Right Now. They fit that peg that goes into that hole that fits right, but it may not be right forever.
Right. So that's my point. You just hit it. So what I'm saying is there is no right person. It's just a person that you have to just compromise with and accept them in their faults. Because nobody's perfect. I mean, there is somebody who's perfect, and I'll get into that another day. But I'm saying that to say, when you accept people, you accept them in their fault. So you can't go into the marriage going, hey, I see my daddy fail, my mama fail, so I know I'm gonna fail. You're not marrying the same person that your daddy had or your mama had. So that's the wrong attitude going into it anyway. But if you can draw anything from them or that, then that's what you draw to help what you got going. Don't base your marriage or what you about to get into off what your daddy and your mama marriage was. That is one of the crazy. But you hear people say that all the time. Oh, man, I ain't doing it because I seen my daddy fail. Hey, cuckoo head, you not marrying your daddy's wife. You might be getting a real good, beautiful woman. Why would you pass up on that based on the woman that your daddy might have bad choices, bad decisions.
You don't know until you hop your ass off the porch and see.
That's true.
But you men have to let go of some of the negative things that we do too. That conversation you telling me about in the locker room, that the whole locker room conversation, that's a sickness. That's a sickness. Whether people want to believe it or not, that's a sickness.
Yeah.
I gotta have hoes. I can't control myself. You 40, 50, you can't control yourself. That's a problem.
Yeah, so I told him, I said, you got something really going on. But that's hitting out there. Yeah, those are things I want to talk about tonight because that intrigued me. The young ladies who say, hey, we don't really need me. And at the very beginning of that, because I skipped some one part, one of the girls on the I'm gonna say left hand side said we really don't need men. And I was like, this is So I mean, that's where we at right now. Because, like I say, with the internet, the whatever, it's helping these people, these young men and women form their opinions, and they have not even lived yet. That's why it's such tragic if they ever get in situations because they believe the internet decision versus real life decision. Because real life decision gonna make it totally different, and you're not. It's gonna be foggy to you because you never dealt with it. So you're not gonna know how to react to it or know how to deal with it in a sense, if you want to say. But
Yeah, well, I mean, life is about learning.
Yeah,
I could talk till I'm blue in the face of my children, but it don't matter until they experience it for themselves.
mm.
You know
That's
what
why
I
I
mean?
said, yeah, I still believe in, like you say, let life teach. So, because and this is just my opinion. I believe that being a parent, uh, I'm gonna just give a percentage. We can say 50-50. 50% is like you say, you raising your kids from 0 to 18 and teaching them about the things to come and the things they're gonna have to deal with. And the other 50 is they gotta live it.
Yeah, yeah. All
You
you
know,
can
you
do
can't.
is provide the roadmap.
Yeah.
Now, if they choose to, go to another website and follow those directions, and
Another website.
you got to learn.
So yeah,
You
you
don't
gotta learn.
you don't want to use my GPS. You want to use your own. Go ahead.
Well, that's what it's for, though, because
Yeah,
you might not like mine, so you go use yours, and that's fine with me. But it is. Hey, what they gotta say? It is what it is.
that's what it is.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming to the Clips Podcast show tonight. I told y'all I had some interesting stuff for y'all. I know you might agree with it, you might not agree. Hit me in the chat. Like, subscribe, share at Clips Podcast Show. And if you too want to be on Clips Podcast Show, hit me up at T Thompson 178064 at yahoo.com. And I'll get you too on here and see if you could deal with the TJT Burns in me. And they ain't got my name. You know what? They were supposed to have my name on here, which it didn't have the right name. It's supposed to be my brain buster. I don't know why I didn't put my brain buster up, but that's all right. So we can come on here and bust your brain. But with that being said, y'all tune in next week at 8 o'clock. But guess what, y'all? We are back. So we gonna hit it and we gonna let y'all get it where y'all can come on and deal
Welcome
with
to the
it.
cliffs, the
We'll have more
place
people
to
back on
be,
here
when no
and we'll be
topic
fitting
is
back in
too
and going from there.
controversial, you'll
But
see.
y'all tune in next week.
Join the
We have
men
a good
Peace.
show.
and let's talk
Peace
for a
out, JC,
while. On the Clips
and
Podcast Show, we'll make you
next week.
smile. Welcome to the Clips, where the fun never ends. Oh, we'll dive into topics, make new best friends. So grab a seat, get ready to go. On the Clips Podcast Show, let's enjoy the flow. We'll discuss the latest trends and news, laugh and debate.